Hello friends, this is the third lecture on the Lost Spring by Jung. So in the last lecture we saw that the army of right-thinkers, shoeless, poor people, famished, not enough food, they have got many unfulfilled desires. For example, like attending a school, but there is no scope for that. Now today we continue with the same method of teaching, that is, as I told you, communicating method, and that is, first we will explain all the words in this passage, then we will go through the main points, highlights, and at the end we will try to answer all the questions. Okay, so here we have drowned in an air of desolation means destruction. Drowned in an air of desolation, that means almost getting finished. You can see that some old monuments are drowned in an air of desolation because nobody looks after them. Government is not interested, private parties are not interested in, NGOs are not interested in. So they are drowned in an air of desolation. Means getting finished, almost over. Acquaintance means one whom you know. I have many acquaintances in the city. Means I know many people, acquaintances. And then periphery, outer limits. The periphery of cities you will find slums. In big cities, periphery of big cities, you will find slums. And squatters. Squatters means people who inhabit unoccupied lands, you can say. Or you can say people who occupy uninhabited lands. And that is also illegal. They are called squatters. You will find when you go to outer limits of cities, many squatters living in tents because they know that they will have to quit their place today or tomorrow. Squatter. And this, if they don't go from there, they are not evicted from there, what will happen is that will slowly develop a slum, develop into a slum. So squatters first come, then they stay there, and after some time it will become a slum. Devoid of means without. Many people live devoid of drinking water, without drinking water. Tattered, old and torn. Very poor women, they wear tattered saris, old and torn. They get it from somebody. Maims have, they give us. Then pitch their tents means make their tents. That's the squatters usually pitch their tents in the periphery of cities. Squatters usually pitch their tents in the periphery of the cities. And then last one is you have got transit homes. So squatters usually pitch their tents, and those tents are their transit homes. Transit homes means temporary homes. They will move. Transit means moving from place to another, one place to another. So they will like to move from one place to another, and then their home is called transit homes, not permanent homes. Homes are not permanent, they are transit homes. Alright. I think the words have been explained, now you can use in sentences of your own value. And now you have got the main points. Main point today is survival means right picking. These poor people who are, these squatters who have pitched their tents in the periphery of big cities, there, and here it is Delhi, and Simapuri is the place that we are referring to, Simapuri, where it is devoid of drinking water, running water, sewage or drainage or nothing else. There is nothing, so to say. They are living a hand-to-mouth existence. And then you have got the story of the Udupi boy. The author tells us the story of the son of a priest who prayed to goddess that he should get who prayed for a pair of shoes to a goddess, and at last she granted that. And then second is the contrast between the Udupi boy and the boy dressed in grey uniform. Then you will find another. She also tells the story of another boy who is dressed in grey uniform, who comes from home panting and throws away his things around. He is wearing socks and shoes. See the contrast there. The rag-picking boy and the school boy. And the third is life in Simapuri. Life in Simapuri. Simapuri is the, so we have already said that that is the place where, that is the periphery, that is in the periphery of Delhi city. And the author says that it is, although it is in the periphery, what happens you will find is, metaphorically it is far, far, far away from Delhi. Metaphorically far away from Delhi means Delhi life is highly sophisticated, civilized, and they have got all the amenities. Although Simapuri is near Delhi, there you have nothing. So the distance, the gap between the Delhi, life in Delhi and life in Simapuri is huge. Although Simapuri is in the periphery of Delhi. Life, there is no comparison. As metaphorically far, far away means there is absolutely no comparison between life in Delhi and life in Simapuri. Okay. So these are the main points. Now questions we will answer at the end of this. Now let's read. I remember a story a man from Udupi once told me. As a young boy, he would go to school past an old temple where his father was a priest. So there is a boy, there is the son of a priest, and the priest was maybe doing the priestly duties in the temple, and there's poor people. He would stop briefly at the temple, that this boy, and pray for a pair of shoes. So there's temple, there's goddess. So on the way, he said, please one day give me shoes. I am barefoot. Please give me a pair of shoes. I have no shoes. I am barefoot. 30 years later, I visited his town, this boy's town, the son of a priest, and the temple, which was now drowned in an air of, desolation. So that means it is already getting finished. Nobody look after. So the temple has been deserted. It is in an air of desolation, means almost getting finished. In the background, in the backyard, where lived the new priest. There were red and plastic chairs. A young boy dressed in a grey uniform, wearing socks and shoes. See the contrast. This boy has socks and shoes. That boy, nothing, means barefoot. Arrived, panting. This is panting means, no? And threw his school bag on a folding bed. See the difference between this boy and the boy, the son of a former priest. The son of a former priest, he prayed for a pair of shoes. Here he has got socks and shoes. He doesn't care anything. He just throws everything here and there. Looking at the boy, I remembered the prayer another boy had made to the goddess when he had finally got a pair of shoes, and then he made this prayer. What is that? Let me never lose them. So the two boys here. One is the school boy in grey uniform. The other is the son of a poor priest. Finally, the son of a poor priest, goddess granted. And then what was his prayer? Let me never lose them. What about this boy, the boy in grey uniform? He comes, he takes everything, shoes and socks, everything, throws here and there. That is the difference between these two. That is what the author wants us to look at. So the same thing I told yesterday. When you compare yourself with those right case, what high level are you living? Your level of living is so high. Some of you are very coming from luxurious homes. But are you aware of this? Are you making the best use of your present situation? You have to answer, question mark. So the goddess have granted. Young boys, like the son of the priest, now wear shoes. These days, you will find people wearing shoes, young boys. But another contrast, but many others, like the rag pickers in my neighborhood, remain shoeless. So, yeah, you get the three pictures here. One, a small boy who is praying to the goddess for a pair of shoes, and he gets it, and for him it is very precious. It's a precious thing for him. So he says, let me never lose it. lose it. Then there is another boy who probably maybe well looked after. He has got socks, shoes, everything, but he doesn't bother to take care of them. And now he says, generally you will find young boys, they wear shoes. But what about these people? These people, that is the fourth group we can say. First is the priest's son, second is the boy with the grey uniform, third one is this young boys of these days. Now fourth one is young boys, the ragpickies. But many others like ragpickies in my neighborhood remain shoeless. That's the thing. And my acquaintance with the barefoot ragpickies leads me to Simapuri, a place on the periphery of Delhi, yet miles away from it metaphorically. I told you, it is on the periphery, outer limits of Delhi, but the life comparison, you simply cannot compare the life of the Delhiites. That means people in Delhi and also these ragpickies, poor ragpickies who are living in Simapuri. That's what it says metaphorically, although physically it is closer, Delhi and the Simapuri, but metaphorically that is in fact, or when you take into consideration the lifestyle of these people and the lifestyle of those people, see, they are far, far, far away. That is metaphorically distant. There cannot be, you simply cannot compare. Those who live there are squatters who came from Bangladesh back in 1971. So those people, they have no house, they have no place. The place where they have pitched their tents, not theirs, they are squatters. Squatters means those people who occupy unoccupied lands or uninhabited lands, and that too illegally. They come and then make their stand, stay there. Sahib's family is one of them. We have seen in the last class Sahib, that poor boy who really wants to go to school, but there is no school and therefore he cannot go. And Simapuri was then a wilderness. 1971, Simapuri was a wilderness. There is nobody, uninhabited land. It still is, but it is no longer empty. Now also it is wilderness, but the difference is that today it is teeming with small, not homes but tents. In structures of mud, see, that is the type of one, with the roofs of tin and tarpaulin, devoid of sewage, drainage or running water, live 10,000 ragpickies. So there is a difference with it. Metaphorically different, we said no. Delhi and Simapuri metaphorically different, or distance, huge distance. Why? Because there you have got running water, sewage, drainage, all kinds of things. But here there is nothing. Mud huts, roofs thin or tarpaulin, no drainage, no drinking water. See, there is no comparison. Just like day and night. One is day, the other is night. That much difference is there. But they have lived there for more than 30 years without an identity, without permits, but with ration cards that get their names on rations, names on voters list, and enable them to buy grain. So there are people no identity also, but they have got ration cards. On the ration card, because they have got ration cards, they are in the voters list. After what people want is their vote. They have a vote bank. They have created an vote bank here, but without any identity. They are living a subhuman existence. Their existence is subhuman, below the standard of a normal human being. You can say like that. So an ordinary human being. They have no name. They have lived here for more than 30 years without an identity, without permits, no permits for anything, to do business or anything, but with ration cards that get their names on voters list and enable them to buy grain. Food is more important for survival than an identity. Who wants an identity? If you are unable to survive, what is the point in getting identity? So food is more important than identity. If at the end of the day we can feed our families and go to bed without aching stomach. Aching stomach, your stomach is empty, you are hungry, definitely your stomach will ache. We would rather live here than the fields that we gave up, than the fields that give us no grain. Say a group of women in tattered sarees, torn and old, when I asked them why they left their beautiful land of green fields and rivers. So I asked them, interview with these women who are wearing tattered sarees and nothing to eat, famished to look, say, and also know a situation where their living conditions are very poor, utterly poor, we can say that is a subhuman living conditions. They said that we can't go back. The land from which we came, beautiful land, fields, green fields, coconut trees and all those things, but we cannot go back. Why? Because we don't get green. We cannot fill our stomach. A place where we cannot get food, why should we go? We will stay here. It is just a survival, mere survival. Green fields and rivers. Wherever they find food, they pitch their tents. That became transit homes. So they left Bangladesh years ago. And if somebody throws them out from this place, they will again, and they will go in search of some other wilderness, where they will pitch their tents and do something like this, rag picking, and somehow they manage to fill their stomach, and also the stomachs of their daughters and sons and the husbands. Understand? So what a hand-to-mouth existence. But see, when you read these things, what should go into your mind is a comparison between your life and their life. Whether you are making use of your life in a proper way, whether you are making the best use of the situation, conditions and circumstances given to you by God. See that? You are born here and brought up. You are born here, brought up by parents who are very fond of you, but their parents are fond of them. But poor people, they have nothing to eat. They have to see from the age of 5, they will go around the sack on their back, picking rags, what we call akri these days. Just think of that. So, are you utilizing your situation, this situation, bless this situation in the proper way or not? That's the question now. Okay, you should answer that for yourself. Children grow up in them, where in them means mud huts, with tin roofs, with the tarpaulin roofs, becoming partners in survival. See, the moment they can walk around, they become partners in survival, not life. Just living partners of survival. And survival in Simapuri means rag picking. So these children who are supposed to off school, they should go to school. This is the time for schooling for them, to enjoy life in the school, wearing socks and shoes, bags, uniforms. Instead of school bag, they have on their back a sack used for rag picking. See the contrast. So we are living in a country, we are living our life in this world is like full of contrasts. In other places also you will find them, many children unable to go to school. Unable to go to school. So last year you might have studied a lesson on France. In there was a lesson on Hamel and the last. No, that is not last year, but in the first lesson. last lesson you will find, the last lesson you will find a boy fronts. He is unwilling to go to school. He is more interested in seeking birds' eggs and he likes outdoor life. When you find that the sky is clear, it's a blue sky, beautiful sky, he would think of not going to school, skipping school and going in search of birds' eggs and fishing and all. So that contrast, this is what you should have. You should keep in your mind when you are reading this lesson. I hope that you have followed. Now we'll answer the questions and we'll go. A place in periphery of Delhi at miles away from it, metaphorically explained. So that means Delhi life, there is absolutely no comparison between life in Delhi and life in Simapuri. Life in Delhi, you have got all the modern amenities. In Simapuri, they are devoid of all the amenities. Even basic things like sewage, drainage and drinking water. Listen, so that's the meaning. Next is survival means right picking explained. There is nothing else to do. Small children, they become partners in survival. And survival there means they cannot go to, they are unable to go to school, means not any physical handicap or anything, but economically challenged people. So they cannot go, they are unable. See, even if they want to, they cannot go. And their main business, the moment they start walking, and they have to become partners in survival. Means maybe mother will be working, father will be working somewhere, elder brother may be working somewhere. So the small children also should become part of survival. Not any other thing, just survival. Understand? That means they have to work hard right from their younger days. That is. So survival means right picking. That's it. That's the only job he can do. Says, I have said, no, I have nothing else to do. What will I do? So that is just for survival, just for keeping us alive, just for filling our stomach. See, just for avoiding avoiding at the end of the day stomach ache because of hunger. That's the reason. That's the meaning. When you say that survival means rag picking. Rag picking is the only thing that they can do. So that will help them to survive. And the third question is, give a brief account of life in Simapuri. Life in Simapuri is there are squatters, there once upon a time there is wilderness, but now we have got mud huts. Mud huts are roofed, thatched with tin sheets, or you can see tarpaulin. There's no drinking water, no sewage, no drainage. The place is devoid of all these things. And the people, they don't have an identity. All what they have is a ration card. And because their name is in the ration card, their name is also in the voters list. They have become part of the vote bank of the political parties. Understand? So that is their life. And the women use tattered sarees. When they come here, they say that if we have left our home, we are migrants here. We have left we don't want to go back. You have got the green fields and beautiful rivers and all those things. But these things won't give us food. These things won't help us to survive. So we will stay here. So they are in a very sad plight. So that is the brief account. Finally, you find, what do you think about the Udupi boy, the boy dressed in grey uniform, and the right pickers, the role of shoes in their lives? Interesting thing is that you find three pictures here. One is the Udupi boy, second is the boy in grey uniform, and third is the right pickers. Now, all of them, they want shoes. First one, he somehow managed to pray and get one. And for him, it was the most precious thing. So he prayed again. After getting it, he said, let me never lose them. The boy with the grey uniform, he doesn't bother anything. Because I think that he has been well looked after and he overprotected boy. He must be an overprotected boy. That may be the reason. No? That is too much care. Or he may be given Horlicks or Boost every day. While these poor people, they have nothing. They might never have heard of this names. Understand that? So that is the thing. And then about the third is ratification. They also want a pair of shoes, but as we can see, as we saw in the last class, they pick. Sometimes they get these shoes with the holes, see? Or half broken, or half eaten by something, leather shoes. No? So such things they put on because of their desire. Anyhow, shoes is, and the others say that these days young boys, they wear shoes. So that means shoes have a role in the life of small boys. Understand that? That's very important. The contrast as well as the importance of shoes in life. But these people, they don't have it. I hope that you have followed. You are enjoying my classes, okay? In that case, of course, I have satisfaction because I am doing, see, in this time of online classes and so on, I am also contributing a bit towards your learning and academic programs. That's all. A little bit. I am not saying that this is the only channel, or this is my channel is the only channel, or my way of teaching is the best way of teaching. No, nothing of that sort. I'm just, what I should say, doing, if you want to call it, a free service. That's all. So, have a nice day. Enjoy your life.